We're live, Judge.
Okay, welcome to Bexar County Court at Law number 6 and the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court via remote Zoom hearings. Today is Thursday, December 17th, 2020 at about 10 minutes after 2 in the afternoon. The case we have set for today, 29476, State of Texas versus Oveta Mickles.
We're present, Your Honor.
Represented by Mr. Paul Acevedo. 51321. Represented by Mr. Kirk Sherman, and Mr. Sherman is running late, I'm told. Cause 626-484, State of Texas versus Aaron Ramirez, is represented by Mr. Ernest Acevedo III, and cause 634-786 and 634-787, State of Texas versus Stephen Freeman, as represented by Mr. Gary Hillier. Both Mr. Ramirez and Mr. Freeman's pleas are Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court pleas. So let's defer Mr. Sherman and Mr. Shepard's case, and we'll start on the other.
One second, Judge.
Go ahead.
Can if you're not being addressed, could you please mute your microphone? That way the court reporter doesn't get the feedback and can get a clear understanding of what's going on. And then Stephen Freeman, can you please mute your microphone? All right, I think you're good, Judge.
Okay. Let's start with, well, we'll start with everybody. And cause 629-476, State of Texas versus Oveta Mickles. And cause 626-484, State of Texas versus Aaron Ramirez. And cause 634-786 and 634-787, State of Texas versus Stephen Freeman. Gentlemen, I'm looking at documents in your files that are entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, as well as trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Both documents allegedly being signed by all you defendants and their attorney. So, Mr. Mickles, in your case, is this your signature on both these documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Acevedo, is this your signature on these documents?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
With regard to Mr. Ramirez and cause 62484, are these your signatures on both these documents, sir? Mr. Aaron Ramirez, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. That's my signatures.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Ernest Acevedo, are these your signatures on both these documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
And cause 634-786 and 634-787. Mr. Freeman, are these your signatures on both these documents on both cases, sir?
They are, sir.
Really, you're an attorney for Mr. Freeman, are these your signatures or documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's see. Okay, for each of you in each of these cases, I'm now holding in front of you a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Mickles, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Ramirez, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Freeman, is this your signature on each of these documents?
Yes, sir.
By signing these documents, are each of you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Ms. Mickle?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct, Mr. Freeman, in both cases?
Yes, sir.
As attorney for Ms. Mickles, have you had enough time to go over this case with her, and in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any question for attorney for Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Question for attorney for Mr. Freeman in both cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mickles, are you a United States citizen now?
Yes, sir.
Same question for Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir.
Question for Mr. Freeman in both cases?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay. As attorney for Ms. Mickles, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes.
Same question for attorney for Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, sir.
Question for attorney for Mr. Freeman in both cases?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Let's see what charge we have here. This is a driving while intoxicated case. Is that what we're pleading to on this one state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mickles, in cause number 629476 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Mickles?
Yes, there is,
Yes.
Your Honor.
Judge, I think I need to make a motion. I think the original charge is a .15.
Okay, that's what we need to do, then let's fix that. Okay, so state you have a motion in clause 629476 because it's originally charged as driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge. Statement to waive the enhancement.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
And that'll be granted.
Proceed as a DWI first.
Correct. Okay, let's try again. Ms. Mickles, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
An agreement for Ms. Mickles.
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 16 months deferred adjudication, a $450 fine, court costs, 36 hours of community service, DWI ed, DIP, CATSNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
I assume, okay, got it.
Your Honor, this Smart Start Mobile, is that the handheld device?
Correct.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
And Mr. Acevedo, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Ms. Mickles, the court accepts your plea of no contest. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt, place you on 16 months, deferred adjudication probation. I set a $450 fine plus court costs, 36 hours of community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, and the Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock device for a period of 8 months. Anything further from the state or the defense on Ms. Mickles?
Nothing
No,
further,
Judge.
Your Honor.
And there's no restitution due in this case, correct, state?
No,
Your
Judge.
Honor.
All good. Thank you, Ms. Mickles. What's going on with probation? Pat, what does she need to do on probation?
Ms. Nichols, you will be contacted within 48 hours. What I need for you to do is write down a phone number. If you are not contacted within 48 hours by probation, you need to call 210-335-7200 and ask for intake. And at that point, tell intake that you were granted probation today and you have not been contacted by a probation officer. But it's your responsibility. So 48 hours, okay? Not Saturday or Sunday, but Friday or Monday, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Mickles, we've been having some communication issues with the probation department. So if you have a problem and can't get anybody, or they say they're going to call you back and they don't call you back, whatever happened, if you can't get in touch with them, make sure you call your attorney. He'll call me and I'll fix it. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Judge, there's one more issue I forgot to bring up. Ms. Mickles is, her birthday is in April, and they have a plan. They have a trip planned, a Caribbean cruise planned in April. I would ask the court to give her permission or at least acknowledge on the file that there is a future trip being planned in April.
Tentatively, I will be happy to give Ms. Mickles permission to go on her trip in April. She's going to be taking her Smart Start mobile device with her. And it all depends on how well she does probation before then. If there are no problems, she's welcome to go.
Okay,
Rob the bank in there somewhere, all bets are off.
understood.
Good luck, Ms.
Judge, I'm going to hang around because I wanted to talk to you about something that's not on the docket.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
And
you.
Judge, this is Kirk. I'm finally here. When you're ready, we're ready.
No sweat, Kurt. We're going to finish these off and then we'll start with yours.
Thank
Okay,
you.
clause 66484, State of Texas versus Aaron Ramirez. This is a DWI with a blood or breath alcohol content greater than 0.15. State, are there any motions on this case?
No, Judge.
Mr. Ramirez to the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of a 0.15 or greater. How do you plead, sir?
No contest, Your Honor.
And is there an agreement?
Judge, is he active duty?
I don't know.
Are
Mr.
you
Ramirez, are you active duty military, sir?
I'm currently on active orders right now.
Okay, then I have no problem to the plea of no contest, Judge.
And I apologize. This is one of our Bear County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 pretrial diversion plea and probation agreement. And state, is it okay if he pleads no contest? Normally they plead guilty and I hold it in abeyance regardless what it is.
I have no problem with active duty pleading no contest, Judge.
Court accepts your plea of no contest, holding in abeyance, placing you on 1 year Bear County Veterans Treatment Court, track 1, pretrial diversion probation, setting a $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drugs through a VTC designated provider. It looks at this time you may not be eligible for VA benefits, but you may. I don't know that, but we'll get you a provider if it's not the VA. Requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court, issue judge's bond, defendant to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. No restitution on this one, correct, State?
No, Judge.
What did I miss?
Nothing that I can hear.
I know what I missed. Mr. Acevedo, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is.
At this time, Mr. Ramirez, I'm looking at a document entitled, stand by. Track 1, pretrial intervention, which is a contract by and between you and your attorney in the Bear County Criminal District Attorney's Office. Said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Acevedo, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Marouz, the Assistant Criminal District Attorney, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, we got you now, Mr. Ramirez. You're on contract. That's all I got. Anything further from the State of the Defense of Mr. Ramirez?
No, Judge.
And Ron, you want him to stay on and you're going to talk to him after our hearings are over today? Is that correct? On Zoom?
Judge, I'll give him a call after we're done.
Ramirez, Mr. Moore is going to give you a call and explain what you need to get going on this thing. What do you do in the military, sir? Or what are you still doing in the military?
I'm a cyber warfare operator, sir.
What kind of operator? Cyber warfare operator?
Yes, sir.
For the Army or the Air Force? For whom?
For the Air Force.
Okay. Couldn't get in the Army? Is that what the problem was?
I didn't score low enough to get in the Army, sir.
That was a joke, sir. Thanks for your service.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Little Ernie.
Thank you, Judge.
Another County Veterans Treatment Court, both a track 1 probation and plea agreement on 634787 and a track 2, meaning final conviction on cause number 634786, Bear County Veterans Treatment Court. So let's start with 634786. Mr. Freeman, in cause 634786 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, second offense. How do you plead, sir?
Judge, real quick, I think I need to make a motion on this one as well. State moves to amend information to include a count 2 DWI first.
Okay.
And proceed on count 2 DWI first and waive count 1 DWI second.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. In this particular case, I'm going to go ahead and go along with y'all's agreement, but in the future, State, I want you to bring this to my attention before we get this far in negotiations and whatnot, because the probability is, since it's being held in abeyance anyway, I want to hold the biggest hammer over these people's head that I can to make sure that they do well on probation. And whether it's 6 months in jail or a year in jail may not make a difference at this point. It's obviously a good defense tactic to try to get the least amount of possible punishment in the bargain. But as far as the VTC goes, there's no real reason not to leave it whatever the original case is, because they're getting pretrial diversion.
That makes sense, Judge.
No problem on this case. Go ahead and go through it. So you're waiving the DWI second enhancement, making it a DWI first. Is that correct?
Correct, Judge.
And no objections from the defense, that will be granted. So that being said, let's try again. Mr. Freeman, in clause 634786 to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead? And I'm not hearing Mr. Freeman. Something going on? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is on one of your cases called 634786, which is a track 2, meaning you're going to get a conviction on this case for driving while intoxicated, first offense. And once again, this is not a track 1, so probably my argument earlier didn't hold as much water, so this is okay. To the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense instead of second offense, how do you plead, sir? And it would probably be either guilty or no contest if I were guessing.
Guilty, sir. Is that both the same?
They both have the same effect under the law, in my understanding. I'll let your defense counsel explain that to you.
That's part of the agreement that he plead guilty, Judge.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. I find you guilty. I assess $1,000 all-inclusive veteran treatment court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. DWI intervention course, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drug with the Veterans Administration or other designated VTC provider. Is there restitution in this case, State?
No, Judge.
Okay.
But there is a term, 6 months over 1 year, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good point. And that will be found guilty of the offense of driving while intoxicated first offense, sentenced to 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year. This case will run concurrent with 634-787 and still requires successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court. What did I miss on this one, State?
Did you get Smart Start Mobile on there, Judge?
No, missed that. Thanks. So Smart Start Mobile, home interlock,
Half the term.
6 months.
Yes, Judge.
And defense, I missed anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Freeman in clause 634-786?
No, Judge.
Open defense, Judge.
634-787, this is the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1, pretrial diversion, plea, and probation agreement. And I might as well do this at this time. Mr. Freeman, on both these cases, I have a document, actually one document is entitled Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 1 in clause 634-787, and one is entitled Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2 in clause 634-786, both of which are contracts signed between you and your attorney and the Bexar County Criminal District Attorney's Office, said contract setting out all the requirements and prerequisites of your successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court in each of these cases. Is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Hillier, as attorney for Mr. Freeman, is this your signature on each document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Brew, as the Assistant Criminal District Attorney, is this your signature on each document?
Yes, Judge.
In clause 634-787 to the charge of failing to stop and give information, basically for an accident which incurred more than $200 in damages. How do you plead, Mr. Freeman?
Guilty, sir.
Yeah. Court accepts your plea of guilty, hold it in abeyance, places you on 1 year, Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 1, pretrial diversion, assessing $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee, 48 hours of community service, probating all that based on your military service. We are using DWI intervention, are we not, State?
Yes, Judge.
DWI intervention, same thing we have on the other case. DWI intervention, DWI victim impact panel, outpatient drug with either the Veterans Administration or a designated VTC provider. Restitution is not an issue. Smart Start mobile device.
Judge, restitution is an issue on this one.
I'm sorry, restitution. Go ahead.
It's restitution, if any, to Dion Shepard.
Okay, I apologize. You broke up on me. Who is the victim in this case?
Dion Shepard.
D-I-O-N-N-E.
D-E-O-N.
Okay.
Judge, if I may, I believe that's been updated. I had an email from Mr. Wright, and I think there might be an update. I do apologize, button in there. I think it's $1,400 to a Tara Anderson, T-A-R-A Anderson, was my understanding.
Okay, I hadn't been updated on that.
I'm sorry about that.
That's no problem.
So the victim is going to be Tara, T-A-R-A, T as in Tango, Anderson, and the amount of money is $1,400. State, do you agree with that?
If that's what he has from ADA Wright, then yes, Judge.
Okay. And defense, that's your understanding of what it is going to be.
It is wrong.
All right, that changes for whatever reason. Y'all need to bring it to my attention. We'll have a restitution hearing. But for right now, my understanding is it's going to be restitution in the amount of $1,400 even to Miss Tara Anderson for, I assume, an automobile accident that was involved in this case. Is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge.
Correct defense.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then we talked about Smart Start mobile device for 6 months. This case to run concurrent with 634-786, requiring successful completion of the Veterans Treatment Court, issue judge's bond, intended to be supervised by CSCD and VTC staff. State, what did I miss on this one?
Nothing, Judge.
State, with your permission and defense, I want to put restitution on both these cases. I'd like to have, I mean, they're both in the same incident, it would appear. And we're trying to run all these things
concurrent.
And do you have any objection to that, defense?
No, Your Honor. As long as Your Honor, I take it it's just one amount. It's not.
It's going to be exactly the same amount. And because both these cases are running concurrent, the $1,000 all-inclusive Veterans Treatment Court fee only needs to be paid once for both cases, that kind of thing.
Thank you, Judge.
Any of the programs will obviously only need to be attended once. You know, everything is concurrent with the other case. So back on the record on clause 634786, I'm adding restitution in the amount of $1,400 to Tara Anderson, exactly like in companion case 634787. Okay, so that takes care of that. That's all I got. State, did I miss anything? Anything else we need to talk about?
No, Judge.
Defense, anything else we need to talk about on these both these cases?
Yes, Judge. I believe there are still outstanding warrants for Mr. Freeman. He has. There was a bond, a money bond for both. The paperwork has been signed in the packet that we forwarded to the court, Judge. Just wanted to confirm for his peace of mind that upon today, those warrants will be lifted.
One of these cases is obviously track one case 64787 is still open on bond, but all those bad things I probably did to Mr. Freeman with regard to previous bond increases and conditions will be recalled on both cases. On the other case, which is an actual finite conviction in 64786, operation of law should recall any and all bond increases or conditions, but we're going to, Ron, we're going to absolutely order it on both cases, whether we need to or not, to make sure it gets cleared up.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, so we're good on that. Anything else on Mr. Freeman?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
What are you doing in the military,
I was in the Air Force and a fueled aircraft.
Great. Did you go to the war?
The Cold War, sir.
Where were you stationed?
RAF Upper Hayford.
Wonderful. Been there, done that. Okay. Thanks for your service, sir.
Thank you.
That takes care of you guys. Ron, you need to come back in on Mr. Freeman and explain anything to them on his cases right now?
Judge, I'll give him a call as well.
Okay. Mr. Freeman, you're going to get a call from Mr. Moore and he'll explain exactly what you need to do. Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Thank you, Mr. Hilliard.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Shepard.
Y'all are excused. Y'all are excused.
And Judge, I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. Ramirez to leave it. It's my understanding he's going to get called by probation or by the vet court.
Yes, sir. And I think we had a chat, and if he has a problem with communication with the probation department that everybody has for some reason, he's going to call you and you're going to call me and I'll call them and we'll fix it.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. All right, Aaron, you're free to go. And Judge, may I be excused as well?
And I like that haircut, Ernie. That's good.
High and tight.
Thank you.
There's only so much hair to cut nowadays, so I'm not fighting it anymore.
All right. All good.
Y'all have a good time.
All right. Mr. Sherman, are you ready on Mr. Shepard?
Yes, sir.
Real quick, Judge, before we move forward, do we remember how many days Mr. Shepard had in?
2 is what I've got, but there may be more he knows about that I don't.
Okay, Nick, he has 2 days on the new case, but I believe he had like
38.
I don't remember whether it was 38 days on the MTR, something like that.
Yes, that's correct.
On the other case, I think the sentence was 90 days, correct? Bear County Jail, probably. Credit for time served, time you wanted to run concurrent. And I don't remember what the fine amount was, but we want to do exactly the same thing we did last time, but it was judgment satisfied last time. Was this
It was, and this will be judgment satisfied as well. I just want to make sure we have the right terms.
Bad. Do you remember what fine I gave you? $2,000 probably. I don't remember.
Like the court costs and stuff.
Well, I'm going to make it 2,000. I think it's exactly the same as last time.
I think so. I think so.
All right, let's try again. Mr. Shepard, 651321. I'm holding in front of you 2 documents. One entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, and the second one entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Both these documents purport to have your signature and your attorney's signature on them. Is this your signature on both these documents, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Sherman is attorney for Mr. Shepard. Are these your signatures on each of these documents?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shepard. Next document I have, I'm holding in front of you a document entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction.
Yes, sir.
So in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sherman, as attorney for Mr. Shepherd, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shepherd, are you a United States citizen?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sherman, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shepherd, plead the charge of unlawfully carrying a handgun. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
Did you say guilty?
I couldn't hear you. Could you say it again for me?
You can be guilty or no contest, is my understanding. Whatever you and your attorney agreed on. Kirk, what's the plea?
No.
He can plead both, Judge.
All right. Court accepts your plea of guilty. Is there an agreement for Mr. Shepherd?
Yes, Judge. It's going to be 90 days, Bexar County Jail, a $2,000 fine, court costs, credit for time served, time money to run concurrent, and we ask that this be a judgment satisfied.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Once again, Mr. Shepherd, in cause 651-321, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of unlawfully carrying a handgun. I find you guilty. I assess 90 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $2,000 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied based on the time Mr. Shepherd served in jail, both on this case and on a previous case. Pat, do we have the number of the previous case?
Judge, it's cause number 612944.
612944. So
Correct.
served in the Bexar County Jail, both on 651-321 and 612-944 being considered as judgment satisfied in this case. Anything further from the state? Is there a gun? There's a gun in this case we need to do something with. Kirk, you want this gun?
Yes, sir.
All right. In lieu of the state's motion, which I'm sure they're getting ready to make to destroy the weapon, the court is going to award the weapon to defense counsel as additional attorney's fees with the understanding it's not to be returned to the defendant, his family, or his friend. Is that okay with the state?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. And defense, that's okay with you, obviously. So anything further from the state or the defense of Mr. Shepherd?
Judge, I just wanted to thank Nick for his patience in this matter. We both appreciate it.
Not a problem. Good luck, Mr. Shepherd.
And I understand there are 2 guns involved. So is the court releasing all the weapons? Both of the weapons?
The weapon from the first case, I imagine, was already given to the defense counsel.
No,
All right,
Judge,
Judge,
in this particular case, in this particular case that we're handling right now, there were 2 guns.
Those guns are going to be awarded to defense counsel. One was a Glock 22, I remember. What was the other one?
1 second, Judge.
But we can thank Michelle for keeping me from screwing that up.
Two firearms. It only lists the Glock 22, Judge. It doesn't list the other one. It says they found recovered 2 firearm magazines.
Okay.
Only 1 actual gun was recovered, Judge, and it was a Glock 22.
A Glock 22 plus magazines. They're not going to give you any ammo back. Mr. Shepherd,
I got a serial number if you want it, Judge.
go ahead.
KOL 019.
Kilo Oscar Lima 019, correct?
Correct, Judge.
That'll be in the order. And Kirk, you'll have to bring me a separate order for this. Mr. Shepherd has good taste in firearms, bad taste in illegal drugs. So, Shepherd, slow down, stay calm, stay cool, and you and I should never meet again. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir. I also have, so the last time on Wednesday when we had court, told me I could go to work. When I went, they made me come back home because of the monitor again.
That's going to be taken off. Any pretrial bond conditions that I put on you, raising your bond or giving you a SRAM device or giving you a GPS device, all that stops as of today. It may not take effect until tomorrow because of the system, but it'll go on the computer today. So at some point, you need to call them or they'll call you so you can go in and turn that in.
Okay.
Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much.
Never.
All right. Anything further from the state of the defense of Mr. Shepherd?
No,
Yes,
Judge.
sir. Thank you all for helping me.
No problem, Kurt. You take it easy.
Appreciate it.
Okay, what else we got? Paul, Mr. Acevedo, you had something you want to talk about apparently. You want to do that?